I saw what you did there, Kaneki, and I saw what you put in this chapter, Ishida. Oh, I saw. And it's tragic. It's very, very tragic getting to see what you did in this chapter. Kaneki, not Sasuke, we know it's Kaneki now. Kaneki grabs his chin with his left hand. Now, this is a habit Kaneki is unaware of, but we found out about this in the earlier parts of Tokyo Ghoul. When Kaneki is lying or he is very uncomfortable, he will put his left hand on his chin. When he's very uncomfortable or he's lying. And in that moment, when he put his hand on his chin, like his left hand on his chin, he says he was really happy. So no. That right there is a lie. So pretty much, Kaneki or Sasuke is not happy. He's not happy with his current self. He is not happy with his current situation. So he is living a lie. And it's very tragic getting to see how Ishida put something like that in it. The suffering train never stops for Kaneki. It never does it? Because, I mean, this poor guy always has to suffer, and continue to suffer. Seriously, it's fucked up. It really is fucked up when you see that entire aspect, because even though he has a new life, and he's tried to build up these relationships for the past 2 years, as we found out, and he doesn't remember anything from his past, it's still sad to see that he's very uncomfortable, and he's very sad and upset, and he's not really happy. Because with the chin touch that he did in this chapter. So, finding this out, and seeing how Ishida put this in, it's very sad. Like, only people that really know Kaneki's personality and know, like, habits a lot will probably key in on that factor from this chapter, and a lot of people most likely will miss that entire element about this chapter, which I can understand. I mean, you would have thought, like, the chin grabbing thing would have been a major element, especially in a chapter like this, and to see that, it adds more sadness to this chapter, and adds a lot of depth to this chapter of Tokyo Ghoul Rei. For one thing, it is confirmed. It is completely confirmed now that Kaneki does not remember anything, or Sasuke does not remember anything from the past. He doesn't know who he was in his past 20 years of life. The only actual time he remembers is this new life being as a ghoul investigator. That's the only person he remembers. He doesn't remember his ghoul self, his old human self. He doesn't remember anything. He doesn't remember anyone from Enteku. He doesn't remember nobody. And that's pretty sad. It's really sad. I mean, he has some form of traits and elements that he remembers. Clearly, you know, he has these habits that he can't get rid of with the chin grab or to the cracking the fingers. He can't really get rid of these personality traits because those are built into our very self. Like, the habits like that are built into us as human beings. And so you can't really get rid of those even if your personality slightly changes. But either way, the chapter, what it does is, it just shows you how tragic Kaneki's life once again is. That's what this is. It kind of, at first glance, when you look at this chapter and you read it and you don't pay attention to the chin grab, you look like it's a very happy-go-lucky chapter. I mean, you see a little bit of sadness in Kaneki, but, I mean, you don't think nothing about it. I mean, the chapter looks like it's very happy. Kaneki, even though he's now Sasuke and doesn't remember anything, he's kind of happy. And everything seems to be going in order, pretty much. And then when you read it again, or you key in on that one little feature with Kaneki grabbing his chin, you're like, damn, this entire chapter was just, like, covering, like, putting a wool over our eyes and telling us it was a happy chapter, but in reality, it was a very tragic chapter. So, yeah, Kaneki, I saw that lie you did. So, anyways, moving into the other aspects of this chapter, let's talk about that ending. Rabbits. SS rated ghoul rabbits. Okay, so I just want to tell you right now, there is two different people this can possibly be. It could either be Toka, or it could be Ayato. Now, I'm just going to say right now, I'm willing to bet it's Ayato. I'm willing to put money that it's Ayato. Let me explain why. We all know at the end of Tokyo Ghoul, the first part of Tokyo Ghoul, Ayato was disguising himself as the Black Rabbit to, I guess, take the heat for his sister, and he also was an Ogiri tree. So, we know he was disguising himself as the rabbit. And since we know this rabbit is affiliated with, you know, the Ogiri tree, it's obvious that this person at the end is not Toka, but it's actually Ayato. Which I will be shocked if it is Toka and she is an Ogiri tree. I would be kind of fucking shocked. But still, the point of it is, it's clear as day that this Black Rabbit at the end of the chapter, even though it didn't say Black Rabbit, it said Rabbit, it's pretty obvious that it's actually Ayato. So, I'm pretty hyped up. I am really hyped up to see exactly what next chapter is going to be like, because next chapter is called Ogiri Tree something something. I forget the exact full title of the next chapter of Tokyo Ghoul Rei, but it's about Ogiri Tree, so since it's about them, we're probably going to have a lot of hype up shit next week. Oh my god, I am just hyped up for that shit. Oh my god. Okay. So, now that we got that out of the way, that's just my theory, because it's obvious that it's Ayato. It really is. I mean, it's just straight out obvious with the ending of Tokyo Ghouls Part 1. It's obvious it's Ayato, and I highly doubt, technically Toka is there, because Toka's supposed to be in college and doing school and stuff, so yeah. Okay, other things I want to talk about. We find out that Shirazu is the new squad leader of the Quinkies, so yeah. It seems like Urei got his ass kicked. Like, he got wrecked in this chapter. He got fucking bitch slapped. Oh, dude. Yeah, soon as the chapter begins, I see Kaneki just doing the smackdown to Urei, just smack him in the fucking face. He's like, ugh, oh, he deserved that shit. He absolutely deserved that. Urei, you're a bastard. You jeopardized the entire mission, and your attitude and personality is shit. And so, Shirazu being the new squad leader is a very good change. We'll have to see exactly how he handles it, though, because Shirazu isn't the most intelligent character as we saw displayed 2 chapters back. I mean, he got easily fooled by Urei, so it's possible Urei can still grab the reins of this squad leadership because technically Shirazu can be manipulated very easy. So that could possibly happen, judging by what we saw a couple chapters back. Urei could try to manipulate Shirazu, get on his good side, try to manipulate him, and then try to promote himself and get in the good graces of Kaneki. Also, other things too. This chapter brings up a lot of questions. I didn't really mention it in my Fury discussion I did last week or my chapter review, but this brings up a very interesting discussion I'm actually curious about. Since this is Kaneki, we know he's Kaneki, and we know he has to, eat people. And we know he's a ghoul. Who does he eat? I'm curious, like, who or what does Kaneki eat? I mean, we know ghouls only have to eat once a month if they really stretch it. They only need to eat once a month. And so, how is Kaneki eating? Like, are they feeding him ghouls? Or are they feeding him people? I mean, I'm really curious how the investigators are handling Kaneki with his appetite, like to eat and feed. Anyone else curious about that? Because, I mean, his RC levels were pretty ridiculously high, what we saw in the earlier parts of Tokyo Ghoul Ray. So clearly he has been eating. He hasn't been starving himself. So what have they been feeding him? Have they been feeding him the ghouls that they've captured or killed? That's a possibility. That's the only possibility I can see happen. But even then, they're just making Kaneki even stronger. Because we know his Kakuja is going to get stronger as he continues to feed on other ghouls. His RC levels will increase and stuff like that, so they're just making it worse because, the Kakuja, as we know, was the sign of Kaneki's insanity to begin with. Because, his half-ghoul Kakuja, he couldn't really control it well, and pretty much he went insane. Like, it made him go crazier. And so, if they are feeding him ghouls, they're making him worse. And that might be the reason why his, old self is starting to reappear and take over. That may be the reason why Sasaki is actually seeing Centipede inside of it, instead of Kaneki or, Rize. It's a possibility. And it's not just that. We also find out that Sasaki does not really want to remember his past. He says that if he remembers his past, then most likely everything he's worked up to build will be destroyed, and he's scared to actually learn exactly how he was 20 years ago, in his 20 years of living. So, yeah, the chapter sets up a lot of shit. It sets up the Ogiri Tree ending with Ayato, definitely Ayato. I highly doubt it's Toka. Like I said, I highly doubt that. And then we have the entire bit with the tragic wool covering our eyes with this chapter of Tokyo Ghoul. And then we have Mother Mado and Father Artima, which I was like, holy fucking shit. Like, damn. And then Shirazu, the new squad leader. So yeah, that's pretty much the chapter as a whole. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or night, wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.